President Trump, it's not just he's winning the argument, he's won the argument.
What? He what?
He's won the argument.
What argument? How much Canada needs to spend and sacrifice to support the U.S. military alliance.
The president is looking for a shift of the burden within NATO. That's appropriate. That is happening. That's gaining momentum. But as part of the point I made to President Trump when we spoke a few days ago, is that it's not just he's winning the argument, he's won the argument.
He's won the argument. He's just surrendered, right? Like, he's a slug, a corporate oligarchic slug subservient to a fascist pedophile, a dog to Donald Trump. It's gross, completely out of touch with working class Canadians. He's won. It's over. We just have to accept that Canada will be a militarized petrostate subservient to the US empire. Just accept that, okay? What's the big deal? Trump's won the argument. And apparently, so has Lindsey Graham, according to the Prime Minister of Canada. Here you've got the Prime Minister giving a suck job to recently deceased Lindsey Graham.
I feel good about where we're going as a nation. We're killing all the right people and we're cutting your taxes.
Just flatten it. We flattened Berlin. We flattened Tokyo. If I were Israel, I would have probably done it the same way.
I'm not with you. I'm with Israel. I will be with Israel to our dying day.
Rip bozo. Mark Carney's just being a little bitch, sucking up to Donald Trump. Lindsey, who supported Donald Trump's threats against Canada to annex Canada. In a way, Lady Graham got his wish. The US empire has pretty much de facto annexed Canada, or winning the argument.
He's won the argument.
As Carney calls it. Carney has already conceded to further integration militarily and economically with the United States empire.
There's a process of shifting burdens. We've known about that. Shifting burdens towards within the alliance, away from the United States.
Shifting the burden, i.e. helping the US more.
More regional integration within a NATO umbrella. And
what NATO country would Canada integrate with? Carney is so ready and willing for more military and financial integration with the US empire at a time where Canadians want exactly the opposite of that. He's just hoping the working class only realizes it too late and Canada will be more integrated and more subservient to the US empire, currently led by a fascist with his brains leaking out of his ear. It's crazy. Further military integration that Carney is doing and plans on doing is a de facto annexation of Canada.
There are many areas where we cooperate closely with the Americans for our defense.
Including, weirdly nobody talks about this, Canada being a willing participant in Donald Trump's Israel-inspired Golden Dome.
But we are also exploring the next phase of that defense with the United States, and that could include what's called the Golden Dome. And I think there are certainly many scenarios where it will be in the right interest of Canada. We will be a willing participant.
Who doesn't want to be in a dome led by a fascist who's launched several wars of aggression? That sounds like a great idea.
We will be a willing participant.
After winning the argument, Carney conceded that Canada needs to alleviate some of the burden on the United States empire. How? Well, by spending a shitload of money, making Canadian sacrifice, all to support the fascist empire.
Over $500 billion will be invested in defense activity.
This is a wealth transfer away from the working class Canadians who are paying for these machines of war.
New ships, new submarines, new aircraft, new armored vehicles, new strength in space and cyber.
To destroy countries overseas, commit and support apartheid, to try and keep the US empire as the global hegemon.
We have a very strong relationship with the United States. We're managing that relationship now. On the defense, security, and intelligence side, that relationship continues.
Donald Trump saying, you gotta militarize the Arctic, spend 5% of GDP on military expenditures, buy US equipment, allow US fascist military installations across Canada to build Donald Trump's Golden Dome. All of these points, which Mark Carney has already conceded to. It's gross. That's what Mark Carney means when he says Trump's won the argument. These things don't even need to be negotiated. Trump's won.
I'm not sure one negotiates on this. These are military decisions. It's not just he's winning the argument, he's won the argument.
Okay, this is the exact opposite of what Canadians wanted and voted for in the 2025 election. He's a lapdog for US empire, complicit in apartheid, and wars of aggression.
It's an alliance after all, and we're all looking for the best ways to move forward as these capacities build up.
NATO is the US empire's offensive alliance to project their power globally.
NATO is there to protect us collectively against any adversary, be it Russia or whoever, or terrorism, but also it is a platform for the United States to project power on the world stage.
NATO's history is clear. NATO has taken offensive actions over and over, toppling governments, inducing chaos, death, and destruction across the globe.
The alliance is a defensive alliance. It's not an offensive alliance.
The one and only time that NATO's Article 5, the Defense Clause, was invoked was after 9/11, a defensive alliance that led a 20-year-long invasion and occupation of Afghanistan. Defensive. Afghanistan weren't even the country responsible for the 9/11 attacks, a war which US and Canada lost, by the way.
It's a defensive alliance. It's not an offensive alliance.
It's an offensive alliance, global network of Western empire to help America maintain global domination. What a dog to Donald Trump.
He's won the argument.
As history has shown, liberal parties frequently bend the knee to fascists to protect capital interests. It's the same old story. Carney's just rolling out the red carpet for the resurrection of Mussolini, a fascist collaborator who thinks that the fascist has won the argument and needs to be alleviated of their military burden a little bit so that they can focus more on their wars of aggression elsewhere, like against Iran.
We had a ceasefire as part of the peace deal, and during that period, Iran attacked multiple times, threatened shipping, and the United States has responded as appropriate.
Actively encouraging and calling more war appropriate. This isn't diplomacy, this is being a toady to Donald Trump. Mark Carney supports the war, he thinks it's worth it.
Canada supports the United States acting to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon.
Worth it to kill 167 school children and their teachers in the city of Manab in southern Iran. Worth it.
But moving to this position where that's been taken off the table, yes, that's worth it.
This is the epitome of Western chauvinism. Wars of aggression are worth it, apparently. You know who said that? The fascists. The originals. Disgusting pig. Canada is not a peaceful country on the international stage.
And we reaffirm Israel's right to defend itself.
Sacrifices must be made. Things have changed. What's changed? If you ask any Canadian, really, they'll point to the shit show south of the border. Obviously, the instability and rapid descent into fascism, launching wars of aggression, committing genocide and apartheid in Palestine, but not according to the Carney government.
Do you think that the Canadian public is aware of the degree of sacrifice that it's going to have to make to achieve that kind of expenditure on defense?
I think the Canadian people realize that there's been a lot of change.
Canadians understand that they need to sacrifice. Why?
I think they saw through this recent war in Iran, that Iran, for example, deployed a missile which traveled over 5,000 kilometers.
Iran might have launched a missile at the jointly operated US-UK Diego Garcia base, a tiny atoll in the Indian Ocean that 99% of Canadians have never heard of and are unconcerned with. Even if Iran had a 5,000 kilometer range missile, Iran is 10,000 kilometers away from Canada. They have no interest in bombing Canada. They're trying to defend Iran.
That they only had a missile that could travel 2,000, maybe 2,500 kilometers. The Canadian people know that the threat landscape has changed. They understand that we need to make these investments.
I guess we'll have to destroy healthcare in Canada. Too bad. Obviously, Canadians are willing to sacrifice everything because an atoll across the planet may have been threatened by Iran amidst a war of aggression that Mark Carney supports. This is the stupidity we're operating on. The real threats are Iran, Iran bad, Iran bad. Look, of course Canadians want sovereignty and independence, but they want that primarily from the United States, who are the global hegemon deeply integrated in Canada. The threat Canada faces is from the US empire, not Iran, Russia, or China, North Korea, any of the boogeymen that US propaganda tries to push onto Canadians. Mark Carney is the richest prime minister ever in the history of Canada. He's a 10+ millionaire at least. He owns several homes. He was a executive at a multinational giga corporation that's over Canadians, a 2-time World Banker elite, the face of the oligarchy, leading this country down a fascist, supporting, appeasing path to protect capital, his capital, and the capital of the capital-owning class. Those are his real constituents. In a just world, Mark Carney would be on trial, okay, at the International Criminal Court for the crime of materially supporting and apartheid, because Mark Carney has materially supported Israeli and apartheid of Palestine throughout his entire tenure. That will be his legacy. Now, we don't live in a just world, so he, for now, won't face trial, but that's how he must be remembered. A subservient lapdog to the US empire, complicit in their many, many crimes against humanity, all in the name of defending capital. If you like my content and want to hear more, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Anyways, that's all for today. Peace and love. Take care. Until next time, free Palestine. Bye bye.